You know how so many terrifying stories start with a simple dare on a rainy night? Well, this isn't just any story. We're going to break down the chilling legend known as That Night at the Ghat.
It's a classic question, isn't it? It's at the heart of pretty much every cautionary tale ever told. But for three friends in a remote village, this question was about to get a terrifying and very, very real answer.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We're in a place called Danuati Village. It's this small, kind of remote community, far from any city, right on the banks of a river. It's been pouring rain all day, and our three friends, Lalit, Vinay, and Sarthik, are just cooped up in a tea shop, totally bored and complaining about the cold.
And you know what happens when you mix boredom with a little bit of youthful ego, right? You get a reckless plan. And that's our first section here. This is where a really bad idea starts to sound like a great one. Now, what's really key here is the dynamic between these friends. It is a total clash of personalities. On one side, you've got Lalit. He's the cautious one, worried about the cold, his parents, and yeah, even ghosts. And then there's Vinay. He's the complete opposite, the instigator, the impulsive one. And the second Lalit hesitates, Vinay's right there, calling him a coward.
And this right here, this is the line that kicks the whole thing off. Vinay just throws the dare out there. Let's go fishing at night in the rain. It's a direct challenge to Lalit. And of course, pressured to prove he's not a coward, Lalit reluctantly agrees.
All right, so now we get to a part of the story that is just classic horror 101, the ignored warning. The boys are about to get some pretty crucial advice that they really, really should have listened to.
So to make this crazy plan happen, they need the gear. Vinay goes to see Ram Kaka, a local fisherman. You know the type, an old man who knows that river better than anyone else.
And Ram Kaka does not hold back. He gives them this absolutely chilling warning. He tells them the river literally changes after dark, that it becomes restless. He says they're going to see things that are just too terrible for them to handle. I mean, the foreshadowing here is just dripping. So, seeing that Vinay is just not going to back down, the old man offers one last bit of protection, a kala daga, a black thread. It's a simple protective charm, basically a last defense against whatever might be lurking out there in the dark. And their reactions could not be more different, which tells you everything. Lalit, our cautious guy, he immediately puts the thread on. But Vinay and Sarthak, nope, they just laugh. To them, it's just some silly superstition. That one little decision really draws a line in the sand as they head out. And just like that, the journey begins. The warning has been ignored, the charm dismissed, and now they're pushing out onto this dark river where the atmosphere just immediately starts to get heavy with tension. Seriously, the scene is set up perfectly for a horror story. It's pitch black. The only sound is the lapping of the water against the boat. They are totally, completely alone. And then that silence is just shattered by the howling of jackals, which just cranks the creepiness up to 11. So after hours out on the water, they've caught nothing. Absolutely zero. Vinay's getting frustrated, his ego is taking a hit, so he suggests a new spot, the one place everybody knows to avoid, the Shamshan Ghats. These are the cremation grounds, right on the riverbank. Lalit is terrified, but Vinay's pride is on the line now. He insists they go. This is it. This is the moment the story pivots from a reckless game into an actual fight for survival. This is the encounter. Sarthak casts the net one last time near the Ghat. After a moment, he feels a pull. The net is suddenly impossibly heavy. As he's hauling it in, they all start to realize with this dawning horror that this isn't a big fish. It's something else. Something is very, very wrong. And this is the moment of just pure, unfiltered shock. There, tangled in the fishing net, is the severed head of a young woman. The boys are just frozen solid with terror. Before they can even process what they're seeing, a disembodied voice just shrieks across the water. Mera sir mujhe wapas de, which translates to, give me back my head. Panicked, they try to row away, but the boat won't move. It's completely stuck as if some unseen force is just holding it in place. They're trapped. And then they see her. Standing on the riverbank is a figure in a white sari, but she has no head. With absolutely no other choice, the three friends abandon the boat and leap into the freezing, dark water, swimming for their lives. Okay, so in our final section, we get to the aftermath. After that terrifying escape, the boys finally get an explanation for the absolute horror they just witnessed. Shivering, soaking wet, and scared out of their minds, they manage to crawl out of the river and see a light on in a nearby house. They start pounding on the door, and an old man lets them in. They just spilled the entire story to him. And the old man, well, he reveals the tragic story behind the ghost. Turns out, it's a well-known local legend. It all started with a young woman who married for love, against her family's wishes. Because of that, her own relatives murdered her. To hide the crime, they dismembered her body. And now her restless spirit is trapped at that Ghat, forever searching the dark river for her missing head. The boys survived the night, but you can bet they were forever changed, swearing they would never be so reckless again. And it leaves us with one final thought, right? Every town, every village has its own haunted places and its own dark stories. So it makes you wonder, what legends are whispered about the places near you?